Could have went Draco Berserker, but decided just to go for Yazi, just in case something happened the opponent's turn. A lot of these games, I'm drawing Ecclesia more than any of my Tenyis or my Swordsoul's. What really helps going into that third or fourth synchro is actually Ashuna. Even though I like you on the worms, it's still an additional synchro, so you can go into Draco Berserker a lot more often. And considering even boards like this, you got a Spell and Trap negate, Spell and Trap banish, a Monster negate, and a Blackout. You add, let's say, a Draco Berserker to that, you have now another Monster interruption. I played both Vessel and Circle at 2. I found that 3 of either one isn't really that good. Even Circle, because if you draw multiples, is not very good. But if you draw a Circle and a Vessel, you know you can play around that. 100 Apple Dragon. Really broken, really important to the future of the deck. However, at 3 of, it clogs way too often. A lot of times you're going to need a Tenyi, whether it be Moyi preferably, but a lot of times you're going to have Taya as well. And Longyun, like, Apple Dragon's really, really broken with Moyi, but with Taya and Longyun, it's still good, still better than it was, but a lot of times it's really bricky with 3. Bisteals can work, but it also can backfire too. That's why I don't have Bisteals in this build. And this doesn't really show why like in this one, but when you're forced to go into an 8 versus a 10, instead of 2 8s and a 10, or 2 8s, a 10, and another 8, when you have to use Longyun to go into a Shishao, it's kind of unoptimal. And you kind of run into that sometimes with your 6s and Apple Dragon. In the build that I run with Bisteals, I typically teach my light and my darks to I'll keep them at 2. Ashuna and Vegeta, I'll keep them both at 2, so that way I still see them for Moyi and for their effects. Also, you're starting to see in a lot of more meta variants of Swordsoul, they're playing 2 Blackout for this kind of build. 1, so they can add it, and 2, so they can banish it with Shishao. When you banish it with Shishao, you now get a token. Well, you got Sistana here, and you're looking at another interruption on your opponent's turn. So, you got Spell and Trap, Banish, Monster Banish. Each one doing an additional 1200. You've already burned them for 1200. I can't tell you how many times that I've got them for 3600 burn damage, so they're already down to 44, and now they still have to out the Monster negate and then the other Monster banish. So if they don't have like a really cracked hand, a lot of times the burn damage puts them almost in a fight or flight mode, and a lot of decks just can't handle that right now. But with Taya, you can still do some stuff with. Like the ability to Foolish Burial Ashuna to the grave helps a lot. So now another monster and Spell and Trap banish. Spell and Trap negate, monster negate. I just brought him out. I forgot I used this effect, but a lot of times when you revive him, it's really deadly because let's say you do have that blackout engraved and he banishes for cost. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone imperm him or Valor him, and then I just banish blackout, and blackout, it gives me the token anyway, and then I go Draco Berserker, run over both of your monsters, and then just come back. It's actually a very good comeback deck. I've only been playing Swordsoul for the last couple months, but one thing I've noticed, the deck can go into 2 or 3 synchros now, first turn, and an additional 2 to 3 possibly synchros on second turn. So if they don't break your board, you can just rebuild it. If they do break it, yeah, it's fine. You can just rebuild it. Plus, you're talking about 3 Valors, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm. You got a lot of negation in that hand that a lot of decks, if you get hit, with more than one, a lot of decks can't take it. Especially when you have interruptions that could banish their cards. Like a lot of decks now, you hit the right Spell and Trap, take Runic, you hit their field spell. A lot of times they're going to struggle on your turn if they don't have a way to get to it immediately. Then I got the 2 circle. I did drop it hard or 2 just for space. And honestly, when I use Taya, a lot of times I'll banish one of the spells. I'll play 2 Sacred Summon. I've actually seen a couple of regional tops where this is at 2. I've even seen some at 3, which apparently that dude was running like a synchro span turbo build, and then if he broke his board, he would make 2 on his turn, then revive another one. So then he would make 2 or 3 synchros, and then make an additional 2 or 3 on his next turn. You didn't kill him. I do like this card. At 3, it's a little cloggy when you rely on it, but when you get 2 of this and 2 of this, you're talking about adding to hand, then you're talking about milling, and then adding another card to hand. Then you got the 3 Imparm and then the 2 Blackout. You can see some decks at regionals play 3 of this, which I think is for the combo with a Shishao, Blackout, Justana. Got the 2 Monk. Got the 1 Shaman. I'm thinking about changing Shaman. I'm not sure yet. I might add a 3rd. The Monk. Got the Starter's Charge Order. If I get locked in the Worms, then I can make a 6, and that might be my only play. Metaphys Horus, plus he has an effect where you can target a face-up card on the field and negate its effects, and then don't specify monster, it's any card, and that effect, the negate, is permanent. Don Dragster, I play 3 Taiye, banishing one of the blackouts. It could banish any emergence, whatever, summit, decrease one of the levels, going to Don Dragster. So there have been fields where I've had Don Dragster, Drag Out, Draco Berserker, and Sinister Long Young. Yazi, Boxia, really like Boxia, kind of want to bump it to 2. If I do get rid of the link to Tenyi, I'll probably go up to 2 Boxia. The only problem with Boxia is it's not a Tenyi, so if you use summon them with this, you can't use his effect. A lot of people forget. 2 Shizhao, Draco Berserker, Drag Out, Sinister Long Young, Baron the Floor, and Chen Ying, the guy who basically ends games with the right hand. I always side like this isn't a real side deck at all whatsoever. This is just cards that I test. Like I'll test the 3rd of the Horror, then test the Yangzing. Crimson Blader comes in clutch all the time. That ability to hurt them for an entire turn to basically say, oh hey, you can't go into level 5 higher monsters is deadly against whether it be Tearlaments, whether it be Flunneries, pretty much everything but Sprite. Dark World is basically just, it cuts off the entire deck. Now the second box, you have the third Lightning Storm. In my in real life deck, until Apple Dragon comes out, I main 3 of these. There's so many decks that play that annoying back row. That lock is, intact. They play Rivalry, they play Gozen, they play Skill Drain. And as good and consistent as this deck is, and this is one of the most consistent decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! A well-timed Skill Drain or Gozen can really just shut off the deck. I test these for fun sometimes, because sometimes if you don't play it correctly or you forget something, you'll get a stuck, Moksha on the field, like a token. I don't ever actually keep this in the side. This is literally just like a little fun card to try out sometimes. The third summit, it's pretty cool. I like the Monster Reborn effect of it. I'll play these sometimes. Sometimes I will try and switch to a more of a Tenyi. And then, like, when I go triple monk, I'll just try, like, oh, hey, I got a non-effect monk, so I'll draw 2 cards, and then I'll draw 2 cards. And granted, it's literally just for fun. You're not going to actually take that to a tournament. But then one card that I play in some of the events on Master Duel, for example, is Fist of the Unraveled Tenyi. If we got Monk on the field, it gives us an additional negate. And it doesn't, we don't have to really play around using this card, because, all we gotta do is have a Tenyi and go into Monk. We now have a live, not Omni negate, but close enough. I mean, Spell Trap, Monster Effect. Can't negate summons, but. And then the effect to the special summon a non-effect monster is set. If you play 3 Monk, that can come up too. And that's pretty much my build for right now. Well, my non-punk and my non-bestial build. Appreciate watching.